Hello and welcome to the first of a series of videos where I take a closer look at the items that Gear Editor Alf has awarded Best Buy and Editor's Choice in the print magazine. So first up we have a couple of pairs of boots. We have the ALT-BERG MALLERSTANG and the BRASHER AHKLUN. Easier to say sadly. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at these boots and see what's involved with them. Okay, so first up we have the ALT-BERG MALLERSTANG boot, which retails for £180 and won the Editor's Choice Award in the autumn issue of the magazine. So as you can see, it's a very traditional boot from a very traditional company based in Yorkshire. UK made, they're all handmade the boots, very few, it's not on a big production line, and the quality means that this is going to last forever. If it doesn't last forever, they can do repairs at the factory, they can resole it, and they can tailor the fit. Now, this came through the post, I didn't go and visit the factory, but they offer 5 width fittings. So if you have a particularly wide foot or a particularly narrow foot, there'll be a boot that fits you. If there isn't anything in their standard range that fits you, you can visit the factory and they'll modify something to suit, or they'll even, worst case scenario, they'll build you a boot to suit your feet. If you've got one foot bigger than the other, not a problem. Or if you've got a protrusion, anything like that, ALT-BERG have got a boot that will fit you. So, as you can see, a very traditional boot, full grain leather, very few seams, which obviously aids waterproofing. You're going to have to oil these as they're a full grain leather boot. But the boots in the box I received some nice wax to rub into them to make sure these will be nice and waterproof for a long time. About 850 grams per boot, which isn't unreasonable. You'll get a crampon on this, like a C1 crampon, something like that. And I found out the box it fitted like a glove. Alf said the same thing. So, great forefoot and ankle support, and a really nice aggressive Vibram sole. As I say, they'll replace this. If this ever wears out, get a new one. The boots will last forever. As they're a leather boot, you'll find that they'll once they're broken in, they'll fit you absolutely perfectly, and it'll be a real shame to have to buy a whole new boot if the sole wears down. Rather than going into the history of the company and going on forever, I'm going to recommend you take a look at the website, which is www.altberg.co.uk, and discover for yourself what a real craftsman-made boot is all about. Now, in total contrast to the very traditional ALT-BERG boot, Alf's chosen the BRASHER AHKLUN GTX, which is £165, as the Best Buy boot in this issue. Alf found this the most comfortable boot on test, despite it being really fairly chunky and pretty high cut. It fits him like a glove again, and proved to be pretty nimble on a variety of terrain. There's a Gore-Tex liner inside this, which should help to keep the water out for as long as possible. And Alf will be happy to use this year round. The abrasion-resistant suede and the high rubber rand should help to keep the worst of the rocks away from this. And weighs in at a pretty modest 750 grams per boot. There's a moulded PU heel cup in the back here, which should help to keep your foot firmly rooted in the back and prevent too much rub and give you a bit of biomechanical stability. And again, we have Vibram sole, which uses BRASHER's own tread. It's quite a soft, rounded tread, but does the business. It's also fairly generous cut, so though it doesn't offer quite the same width fittings as the ALT-BERG, it's quite wide, so I find it very comfortable for my wide feet, and you can get these straight on your feet out of the box and onto the hill. Alf reckons these are a really good all-round boot, so you'll be able to use it in non-technical winter terrain, all through the summer, and in those wet shoulder seasons as well.